Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Hello.
Yeah, Om Shanti, sir.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Sir, you're audible, sir.
See. Doing. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to discuss.
Could you repeat what you said?
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, you're audible, sir.
Yeah, I'm audible, but I cannot see anyone
Sir, I think
on
we
my
all
screen. Yes. Okay, so let's begin today's session. Thank you so much, Naringaji, to come up on the page. Let's sit up straight on your mat. Now close your eyes. We'll chant home together. Take a deep breath in. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bend your head forward. Open your eyes while blinking. And namaste to everyone.
Namaste.
So what did we discuss yesterday? Rupaja, do you remember what did we discuss?
Yesterday the network was so bad I couldn't hear or see anything. It kept breaking. It wasn't possible to hear anything for me.
Okay, so yesterday our
Not
topic
yesterday.
was triangles
On Saturday.
on Saturday. Okay, so let's discuss about triangle pose. Do you know how triangle pose do we do?
Yeah.
So triangle pose. So what is the main purpose of the triangle pose? What does it give us? Does it give us stability or that flexibility? What do you feel like?
Both.
Both. Okay, but the maximum it gives us that flexibility in our hip joint basically it's not a flexibility, it's all about the mobility of our hip joint. Okay, so the distance of your both legs, that is going to be one leg distance apart, or keeping your heel in line, or keeping your front heel or back toes in line, that is going to be different person to person. Okay, so if you're talking about those people who have knock knees, then they are going to bring their heel in one line. Okay, if you have normal feet, then you're going to keep your front heel and back inner arch of the feet in one line. If you have bow knees, then it is going to be very hard for them to get into this posture, but you can keep your front heel and back toes in line for them. Okay, so what I mean to say here, so first of all, let's understand what are the bow knees, what are the knock knees, and what are the flat feet. The flat feet is something when your inner arch of the feet start to collapse inward. So we do have normal arch. When it start to collapse inward, that is called flat feet. When you have flat feet, your upper leg that is going to rotate inward, lower leg that is going to rotate outward, and again your feet is going to also rotate inward. So this rotation is happening alternatively after one another. Okay, just understand this point. Let's suppose you have knock knees. What is going to happen? Your inner arch of feet is going to rotate inward, but your lower leg, that is going to rotate outward, and your upper leg that is going to rotate inward. So due to it, that is going to create space over here on the outer edges of your hips. Here, on the sideways over here. Okay, so that is the main reason why do we feel pain on our outer hip, and why do we feel pain over on our inner side of the knees. Okay, so when you have flat feet, so how are we going to cure them? Like if you find somebody who has flat feet or who has knock knees, how are we going to cure them? Do you have any idea that what are the poses that we are going to suggest them? Yeah, you are not audible, Narikaji.
So all the hip opening poses, asanas will help with the flat foot.
All the hip opening pose. See, hip opening pose that can be different. Like there we do have two type of hip opening: your front split and side split. Either you can open it to the side, and first you can open it from the front. Okay, so we are going to do that second one. Sorry, first one, where we are going to do the side split, and we are going to open our hip to the front or to the side, not in the front. Front split is different, but side split is going to happen in there. Okay, so when you have knock knees, what happens there? Your inner side of your muscle that gets tight. Okay, so due to it, our knees are coming together. So what are we going to do? We are going to do all those poses who are going to give us stretch on our inner thigh, inner knees, inner thighs. Okay, so what can they be like? They'll be your frog pose, your malasan or Garland pose, or second, third is your goddess pose. Other poses, if you remember.
Butterfly.
Yeah, butterfly that we are going to do. And before that stretching, we are also going to work on that mobility of our hip joint, because they are not enough mobile. They are not into this idle position of their legs. Okay, so we are also going to work on that mobility. We are also going to work on the flexibility of our inner thigh, and we are also going to work on the strength of our outer thigh. See, once it gets, just look at my leg. If I have knock knees, what is going to happen? My knee is going to come together in the center of the gravity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work here on my flexibility. Here I'm going to work on the strength of my leg. Okay, so if it is getting stiff, here I'm going to work on the flexibility. Here I'm going to work on the strength of our IT band or the abductor muscles.
Sir,
The
what
outer thigh
exactly is
muscles are called. Yes?
Sir, what is knock knee, sir?
Knock knees, when your knees come together. See, this is your knock knees. Your knock knees.
Okay.
So this happens when you get flat feet.
Okay.
Flat feet when you're collapsing from the inner arch of the feet. Then your knees come together. When your knees come together, then you start to tilt forward. That is called anterior pelvic tilt. Okay? So see each and every posture. Let's suppose you're doing warrior A or warrior B. They'll be required to have this this posture pelvic tilt. If you rotate that, if you're tilting your hip forward, then it is not going to give you strength. It is not going to engage your butt. Neither this is going to, nor this is going to engage your hip flexors over here in front. Okay, so we were talking about the triangle pose. In this triangle pose, what is going to see? I told you if your heel, this is keeping your heel and front back inner arch of the foot in one line, that is going to be fine for those who has normal arch. But if you're keeping your heel and if you're keeping your front heel and back toes in one line, this is going to be good for those who has ponies. Understood? Accordingly, we will go. See, when we are bringing our heel in line, what is going to happen? Your knees are going to get away from each other. We need to have this in this knock knee. If you have knock knees, we are going to keep our heel in line so that we will find this outer rotation of our leg. See, our feet directly influences our hip joint. If you are, see, if I'm going to keep my feet in line, like feet together. So what is happening in my leg? My legs are rotating inward. If I'm going to push my heels together, now what is going to happen? I'll find that outer rotation of my leg. So that we need to have in this triangle pose. Okay, for those who have knock knees. Just keep your heel in line. Keep your heel in line together and rotate your legs outward. That is going to rotate automatically outward. Okay, but if you're keeping your both feet together, now you will find that internal rotation of your legs that we usually have in each and every sitting postures in Ashtanga. Okay, so let's move further to your hip. What happens to your hip when you get to the triangle pose? Okay, let me see your triangle pose. Krupaji, just show us that how do you do triangle pose? Just step your right leg, or yeah, one leg distance apart. That is not one leg distance. Just step your right leg forward, a bit forward. Yeah, extend it more forward. It should be one leg distance apart in between.
Okay.
Yes. Just make a one leg distance apart. More.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Yeah, Krupaji, today's internet, is it stable or?
It is stable, sir. I can see you and hear you.
Okay. See now just make a one leg distance between your both legs. It's not one leg distance. Step it more forward, a bit more forward. Yes, now it's fine. Okay, now stretch your arms out to the side. Wait. Before you get there, just squeeze your tailbone, engage your butt, and pull your lower belly in. Now stretch your right arm forward to the right side. Stretch your right arm forward. Yes, without moving your hips. Just keep your hips stable. Your hips remain same. Just keep moving your hands forward. So what is actually like to happening in this pose? Your front leg is getting in your pelvic girdle. Then if you find that bone on bone compression, that means you are doing something wrong there. Okay, but if your purpose is to have that stretch only on here, on your left side, like on your left side, on your back leg, then it's fine to do this. But if your purpose is to get perfectly in the posture, then the bone on bone compression that should be avoided into this pose. Okay, now swing forward, stretch your right arm forward, keep stretching. So are you feeling that limitation in your joints?
No,
Is
sir.
there any limitation in your joint? Are you feeling that bone on bone compression somewhere in in your pelvic girdle? No. Just keep
No.
on moving forward. Keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on. And one more thing, you have to always be engaged with your sideways. If you're making like, if you're shrinking your sideways or your like a sideways, then you will not be anymore engaged. Okay, just keep your sideways always parallel to each other. Then keep stretching your right hand forward to the right side. Keep stretching. Now while exhaling, drop your right hand on your right leg. Yes, your shoulders should not be tilted. It should be straight and open. Yes, keep your other arm stacked over your right arm. And then keep elevating your chest high. Elevate your chest. No need to grab your toes. You can keep your right leg on the floor, you can keep your right arm on the floor or on the block or on your shin bone, wherever is possible. It's not necessary to grab your big toes. Very nice. And keep rotating your back leg outward. See, here you are going to rotate your back leg outward so that you will maintain, you will sustain this openness of your hips. The moment when you rotate that leg inward, you will start to collapsing to your hips engagement. Just keep opening. And now inhale, come back to the center. Let's do it on the other side. Okay. So this was your first approach. Second approach that we are going to apply now. Just turn your left foot out and turn your back leg slide in. Turn your back leg slide in. Back foot, yes. So this should be almost there into 45 or 30-degree angle. Okay. So now stretch your arms out to the side. See, her back leg is rotating inward already. Okay. Now we are going to resist this action by pushing our hips backward. Now stretch your arm and then directly grab your big toe. Without any engagement, grab your big toes. Just grab your big toes, like make a tight grip with your both hands. See, now she won't feel that bone on bone compression, and still she can easily reach down to her toes. From here, what are we going to do? Because her back leg is rotating inward, but our back leg is supposed to rotate outward. Now push your front hip forward to the camera, to this side. Front hip forward, and then open your back hip outward. Open your back hip outward, and just keep pulling your lower belly in so that you will be sustained there with that engagement of your buttocks. Keep your both hands straight, and then look at your upper hand over the head. Stretch, keep pulling up high, and there should be no twisting. If you're twisting your spine, maybe you have scoliosis, then it's going to be bad for your body. Okay, just keep elevating your chest, keep opening your chest, very nice, and then keep rotating your back leg outward. Your foot is rotating inward, but you are going to rotate your leg outward from the top of your femur bone. Now inhale again back to the center, and then exhale, release. Now shake your legs, shake your thighs. So everyone, let's do this together so that you will understand this external rotation of your hip. You will understand how are we going to push our hands on the floor.
Sir, one
Okay,
thing,
let's do tomorrow.
both the sides I felt in the thighs pain, sir, as I was in the pose, and I was I was already in the pose, and I was just making some adjustment. Then thighs were the hamstring part was hurting.
Yeah, hamstring part was hurting.
Yes, sir.
See, maybe that's a good stretch. Like, we cannot say like you will not get hurt there in this pose, but there should be good stretch. Okay, if you have bad stretch, then there's something that we did wrong.
Okay.
Sir?
Okay? If it's good stretch, then it's very nice. If it's bad stretch, then maybe we did wrong. Yeah. Yes. Please.
Sir, I want to ask you that this Trikonasana, is it better to do it near the wall at the beginning so that the posture will become more better, so that we can press our shoulder towards the wall and collapse of the chest will not happen?
Yes, after this we were coming to the wall.
Okay, so wall is not the beginning one?
Yeah, it's a beginning one, but I was just telling them the proper alignment of the posture. How do we do this? Okay. So
Okay.
now, see, now we have transition and we have modifications too. If somebody have problem, if they cannot get directly into this posture, because this is the ideal position of your triangle pose. If you cannot do this, now we are going to modify by using our props in
Okay.
yoga. Or
Okay.
either you can use block, or you can use wall, you can use chair, you can use you can find somebody who is going to adjust you. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are going against the wall, how are we going to do? Just look at me here. Then
Yeah.
you will see. First of all, you have to keep your hips stable and even. If your hips are tilting, that means you're doing something wrong. Okay. If you're tilting your hip forward or doing like this, then it is not going to give you the same stretch which you're looking for and which is meant for doing this. Okay. Now turn your right foot out. Keep your hips against the wall, even. Now stretch your arms to the side. Make sure your heel and back inner arch of the foot is in line. Otherwise, you can keep your front heel and back heel in one line. Okay. Now stretch your arms out to the side and keep your hips engaged. Okay. Make sure you're pushing your both hips evenly against the wall. If you're pushing your right hip against the wall, nor your left hip, then while bending forward is going to be tilting like. Okay. Make sure your both hips are evenly pushed against the wall, and then you're stretching your arms. See, I told you that two approaches. How are we going to get there? First approach, by engaging your butts, reach your right arm forward, reach, and then bend forward wherever is possible. I cannot bend further than this. If I'm bending, I'm going to definitely rotate my back leg in. Okay, my hips should be even, open, and then bend forward. So this should be like this in this triangle pose. But the second approach, to get deeper into the posture, what are we going to do? We are directly grabbing our toes, right big toe. Then after, stretch your arms and then rotate your back leg out. See this outer rotation. Push and then pull up your chest, and then keep your hips on the wall, and then stretch the other arm over the head. Now you will find that even hips together. Did you understand how did we do? The first approach was without tilting your hips, you are getting into the posture. Second approach, first you tilt your hips, then you directly get deep into the posture, and then you adjust yourself to come in the ideal position of the triangle pose. Did you understand what do I mean here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it all together. Just find your wall and then understand the movement of your hips. Did you all do this?
No, we're waiting for you.
Okay, I'm sorry for this. Okay, now keep your hips even against the wall and open your legs one leg distance apart. Yes. And now turn your back foot slide in. Turn your back foot slide in. Just look at here. As you're here in this position, now turn your back leg slide in. Back leg slide in and turn your right foot all the way forward. Can you see my feet? Now back foot slide in and right foot all the way out. Okay, now push your hips back against the wall. Push your hips back against the wall. Make sure you're comfortable against the wall. Okay, do not all the way like get closer to the wall and then you cannot even find the balance. You cannot even stand. Don't get that much close. Just take a slight gap from there and keep your hips against the wall and lean on your wall. Okay, from here, what are we going to do? First, just make sure your hips does not move out or you do not tilt your hips. Make sure your hips are even, you are touched against the wall and keep on moving from there. Now from here, keep on moving to the right side without moving your hips. Keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving, and then place your hand wherever it's possible. See, without moving your hips should be stay like this. Here, yes. Just see the difference. Here you cannot get deep into the posture, right? But if you're aiming to have that stretch on your back leg over here, like stretch very forward. If you are looking for the stretch over here on your sideways or on your IT band, then it's perfect to do this like this. But if you want to get deeper into the posture, you want to have maximum benefit from the triangle pose. What are we going to do? We are going to tilt our hip, first rotating our hip inward. First rotate your hip inward and grab your big toe with your right hand. Directly grab your big toe with your right hand. You can tilt your hip this time. You can tilt your hip this time. Just grab your big toe. From here, what are we going to do? Now push your hip and then try to open your hip out. Now try to open your hip out and keep pushing your both hips against the wall. Keep pushing your both hips against the wall so that they become even and stretch your other arm over the head. Keep opening and feel that openness in your hip joint. Okay, these were the two approaches to get there into this triangle pose. Did you understand what do I
Can
mean
you
here?
bend your knee? Oh, excuse me.
No. We usually do not bend our knee, but if you have knock knees, that is then you can bend your knee. Okay, if you have knee injury, then you can bend your knee. Or yeah, if you have ligament tear, then you can bend your knee. Otherwise, you have to keep your legs engaged all the time.
Okay, thank you.
So did you find any difference in first approach and second approach?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so what did you find?
So I think equally the posture has got its own difficulty because the first one is easier, to keep the hips, but then when you go down, you cannot go all the way down. But when you tilt, you go in deep, but when you have to open the shoulder, then it's hard again. Yeah.
Yeah. So just understand how are we going to rotate our hip all the time. Okay, whether you are in triangle pose, whether you're in the warrior A or other poses. So let's move on to our upper body. See, this is your extended arms to the side. From here, make sure your sideways are parallel to each other all the time. If you're shrinking your one side and then you're just stretching your other arm over the head, you will have extension only on here. You're forgetting this part. Okay, this will also stretch, but this and this both should be parallel and engaged. Okay, so this is called this isometric contraction. So both sides should be engaged together and even. See, if you are shrinking like this, stretching your other. If you are shrinking like this and stretching your other arm over the head, you will have extension on your ear. You will also have the extension here. But what about this part? You just keep on hanging into the joint, and maybe you will have that bone on bone compression once again. Okay, that we are going to avoid. Just be engaged from both sides of the muscles that we have around on the sides. And one more thing, when you're stretching your upper arm over the head, do not rotate that inward. The moment when you rotate that in, your back shoulder is going to climb over your front shoulder. Okay, just keep on rotating your hand outward. This is going to create space in your shoulders, and this is also going to give you elevation. And once the moment when you create the space, that is going to help you out to, that is going to allow you to open your chest even more higher than before. Okay, just keep on rotating your hand outward like this, not inward. See, this is the outer rotation. I can easily open my chest. The moment when I'm going to rotate my hands inward, I'm going to collapsing through my chest. Okay. So if you're going for the back bend or any other poses, make sure your hands are rotating outward each and every time. What else we can do? If you have your own class in yoga, so you will find two people together. Okay. See, when I get to the posture and I'm going to push my hip out, so other person is going to put your one leg over here and other leg over here. Okay, then it is going to get more intense for those who have been practicing for a long period of time. For beginners, it's also going to be okay, but do not put that much deep. Okay, so this will be all the time open. It should not be collapsed in, but your foot is rotating inward because we do have mobility over here. We can easily rotate from here. Okay, so that is how we are going to do. One more concept we have here in this on our leg. Wherever your knee are facing, to the same direction your toes should face. Let's suppose if I'm turning my back foot in, if my knee are facing this side, now I'm finding twisting on my knee. This is not good for my knee joint. Okay, so wherever is your knee, where to the same side your toes should face. Understood? Let's suppose you're doing warrior eight. If you're not turning your back leg in, if you're turning your back foot outward and you're pushing your back hip inward, now see my back foot is lifting off the floor and I'm having that pain on my knee joint. Make sure wherever your knee is facing, to the same direction your toes should face, because it's stable. So wherever we have stability, that should be all the time engaged. So we can, for an instance, let's suppose this is our leg. Okay, this is our leg, this is our knee joint, and this is our toes. Okay, if your toes are facing this side, your knee should also face this side. If your knee are facing forward, then it's going to be not good for your knee joint, because we do have stability here. We are going to build the strength of our joint, of that particular region. So here we need to have that strength. Okay, we don't require mobility over here in our knee joint or on our elbow or on our lumbar region. As I told you, like mobility, stability that comes after another one in your body. Okay, Leela ji, did you understand this?
Yes.
See,
That my knees should face the same way as my feet all the time.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
And one more thing, in our body is designed in such a way where mobility, stability, stability, mobility, stability, mobility, again stability, mobility, stability. That will alternatively come after another one. Okay, let's say if you are talking about our ankle joint, that should have mobility, it should rotate. Okay, if we find that, you know, that stiffness in our ankle joint, then we usually find that cramps, or that sometimes we find catches there in an ankle joint. If you talk about our knee, this should be stable. If you're twisting a knee joint, then again you will have problem with your knee. Okay, we don't need to twist our knee joint.
Yeah, I have a question. So
Yeah.
in that pose, I
Mhm.
felt the stretch and it was hard to hold it, but it wasn't necessarily painful. It was just hard. Should I continue to hold it if it's just hard to do? But if it hurts, then I stop?
See, if the poses, see, there are two type of stretches that we usually find in each and every posture. If it's good stretch, then it's fine. If it's bad stretch, then it's not fine. Okay, just understand what is good, what is bad. See, if you're having that stretch only on your muscles, if you're not having any pain in your joint, then it means it's fine. But if you're having this stretch, but at the same time you're having pain on your joints, then there is like, you just need to avoid that posture, because in the
Okay.
beginning we are supposed to work on the mobility on our joints.
Okay.
You cannot directly work on the flexibility. Until unless we get open from inside, we cannot be open from outside, because our,
Okay.
our like skeletal system, that should be like first, we should give priority to our skeletal system first of all. Then after we'll move further to the muscles. That is why, like, if you are going to gym, people, they do first mobility exercises, then they work out on their muscles. In yoga, same. First, we are going to work on the mobility, like joint movement. Then we work on the flexibility. Okay. So any question
Yes,
that you
thank
want
you.
to ask about this triangle pose, or any other poses that you want to know about? In which posture do you find difficulty, Leela ji?
Just now, doing the triangle pose, I usually do it in my morning yoga class, but now with my hips against the wall, when I bent down, it was harder to go to my big toe, but I got there. And then when I got there, I felt it like in the front of my leg. Maybe, I don't remember if in my back, but it just felt like it was hard and I wanted to stop, but it didn't hurt. And then sometimes I've been doing, is it the Garland pose where you're squatting with your hands between your knees?
Yeah. Yes,
That was really hard at first, and I felt a big stretch in my front leg, but I held it, and now I can do it. I can actually do the squat. So it's good to know that if my joint hurts, I stop. If my muscles feel stretched and strained, that I can continue holding it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
See,
Thank you.
one more thing, let's suppose, as you said, that you could not go down to your toes in the triangle pose. It was getting hard to get there, and it was very hard to open your hip at the same time, right? So, so again, we are going to talk about that.
And then I couldn't open all the way out. I could only open up to here.
Yes. So it's all about that flexibility and the persistence, that how long have you been practicing. If you've been practicing for a long period of time, then it's going to be easy, because this flexibility can easily be gained. Like the flexibility that will come within 5 months, 6 months, or 7 months, but the strength or that stability in the joints or in the posture, that will take time. Okay. If you continue practice for 5 months, 6 months, or 7 months, from the teacher who knows that where from you should, where till what extent you should go, then it will be easy to gain. But if you just keep on extending your muscles, keep on making, you're just looking to make it flexible, then it will not work as you want. Okay, just understand when to stretch, understand when to make it mobile, understand when you are supposed to hold the posture, and what is the main purpose of the posture. Okay.
Okay.
just go accordingly. See, many postures, they do not give us only on flexibility, they give us strength too. Like warrior poses, it gives us a lot of, stability, strength, but it does not give us that much flexibility. If you're looking for the flexibility of your hip joint over here, you can go for high lunge. We have Asana, horse riding pose, other poses to gain the same flexibility. But in warrior A, you will find stability. Like in triangle pose, you will have a stretch, you will have openness of your hip, you will have extension on your inner thigh, of your front inner thigh. Okay, just understand the purpose of the posture and then go and just achieve it.
That's helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir, and when it comes to engaging, sir, for example, engaging the stomach means I will breathe in and then breathe in and hold it. Engaging the, for example, engage hand means this is what I will do, sir. Is this what you are expecting?
The engagement of your arms, like pulling your arm muscle back. See, if you're engaging your arms, you will find this external rotation. This is not engagement. If you're engaged, if you feel like this is the engagement when you're pushing your hands forward, and this is your hyper extension of the elbows. This is not engagement of your arms. You have to be engaged with your arm muscles. Okay. So how you're going to engage? Just bend your elbows and then pull your hands back. See, now it's engaged, but if you're just losing, if you're extending your holding into the joint, then it's not engagement. This is the hyper extended elbows. You have to rotate it slight in and then be engaged like this. Okay, do not just hang into the joint and then you're doing the postures. So there should be stability into the joint. Like here, you can just keep on hanging. It will be like this. But if I'm engaged, it's going to be like this.
Okay.
Like
Okay. When you engage, it is like really stable and strong, no movement at all.
Okay, so in yoga, we need to have the consciousness in each and every posture, where our leading part, where our following part, your back leg.
Sir, while engaging, does it also have anything to do with inhalation, sir? While engaging any part of the body, do we also inhale and hold the breath?
See, how do we engage our abdomen, or how do we engage our body? What do you feel like while exhaling or inhaling?
While inhaling, we have to inhale and hold.
Inhale, and then you can easily engage. Okay. But while exhaling, you can never engage your body part.
Yes, sir. But for example, in Trikonasana, you said, okay, feet apart, hands to the side and stretch. And while before even going down, engage the butt and the belly, stomach. So
yes.
These two are engaged, and then I'm going down and holding my right toe. So while doing this, I have to keep on inhaling and exhaling also, right, sir? So
See,
then
yeah. One more thing, when you inhale, see, when you inhale, you engage. After that, while exhaling, you get to the posture. Once you just engage yourself, so you have to sustain this engagement from the beginning. But
okay.
You cannot sustain this engagement in the middle of the posture. Let's suppose you are here in this posture. You can engage over here. Now engaged. Now while exhaling, I can easily get down. But if I feel like while exhaling, if I am going to engage, it's going to be very hard to hold.
Okay.
From the beginning, you have to engage your body part while inhaling only. Then as long as you want to engage, you can engage. But while exhaling, you can never engage your body part for long period of time. Because we need oxygen to engage our body. While exhaling, we are going to release oxygen. Then we are bending forward. Then we are stretching our body part. Okay. Yeah, this was all for today's session. If you guys want to ask anything, you may ask.
Thank you. Have a great
Welcome.
day.
Okay, then let's finish today's session. Sit up straight on your mat. Now close your eyes. Let's chant together one Om followed by 3 Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Om. Shanti. 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 Join hands together. Bend your head forward. Now open your eyes while blinking. Namaste to everyone. Enjoy your day, evening. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Namaste. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.